beautiful people, it's already day 181 of office hours. How did it sneak up on us so very, very quickly? You beautiful people, I don't know how we got started on this crazy adventure, but we're stuck in it. We're on this roller coaster all the way until it does the loop-de-loop and spits us out and makes us vomit in the side of the park, and then we decide we just want to go play midway games instead. But while we're here, we might as well see, no doubt, no lie, no BS, quite possibly the single most important experiment that you're ever going to perform on your own mind. I do not think I am overstating it when I say that. If you're new here, hello, beautiful folks. I'm Brian Brushwood. Just think of me as the internet's older brother. I've seen some shit, that's for sure. But the thing what put me on the map was Scam School, the only show, or Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. So we revisit it with Scam School because there are important lessons afoot about everything from how to trick other people to score free drinks to how other people are going to trick you. And with that in mind, we're going to learn about the Revision 3 memory test that I did years ago. Sorry about this. I didn't quite get this set. Hold on. Wait a minute. Gonna switch this account. And then we're gonna see it. By the way, all of these fine folks right at the bottom, they're the elites, the Diamond Club, the real ones, the ones who show up with their time, energy, and effort so that they can be on the front lines for the Scam-pocalypse, which we've talked about a bit. We'll talk about more, working on the Substack for that. But for now, let's take a look at episode 79, Brian versus Revision 3 and the memory test. Here we go. Oh.
Grab yourself a pen and paper because you are going to do the memory test. This scamtacular episode of Scam School brought to you by Squarespace and Gamefly. So who's going to drive your social train? Social engineers, courtesy of Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and this week we present a very special interactive episode. So grab yourself a piece of paper and a number 2 pencil because we start our test in the conference room at Revision 3. All right, guys, as you know, we're shooting Scam School tonight, which means field trip to the bar. But I'm going to do something special this time. I'm actually
Open tap?
Yeah, no, not open tap for everybody. For one lucky person, I'm going to buy drinks all night long for that one person. No, you're not gonna, it's not democratic. You don't get to elect the person. We're gonna do it by, it's gonna be a meritocracy. We're gonna have a contest to decide who's the person who gets free drinks on Brian for the entire night long at the bar. And the test is going to be a memory test. So every one of you guys, grab yourself something to write on. We got note cards over here, tons of pens. Those of you guys in the back, you're gonna have to write on your hands. Now that goes for you too. Grab yourself a piece of paper and something to write with because there's no point in going forward unless you participate in this interactive experiment. I mean it. Roger is so upset that he's gonna have to, it's like homework. All right, you guys ready? How many people here before we begin? How many of you guys think you have a good memory? Oh, most of you. This will be interesting. Okay, couple of rules. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a list of words. I'm going to show them and I'm going to read them to you. Don't write or do anything until I say go. After I've shown them and you've read them, I'm going to say go. You'll have 1 minute to write down as many of those words as you possibly can remember, okay? Couple of things to remember. First of all, the first 3 or 4 of those that you write down are going to come back instantly because all you're doing is, Mauricio, why are you late? Couple things to remember. First of all, the first 3 or 4 words are going to come back instantly. That's just because you're regurgitating the information you just got. Then it is going to get hard. When it gets hard, do not give up. That's when you're starting to access true memory. When it gets hard, I want you to close your eyes and visualize what it looked like. Try to remember what it sounded like when I read the words, and you will be able to remember 5 or 6 more words after that. Whoever gets the most right will get free drinks on me the entire night long at the bar. We're not going to cheat. Nobody cheat. Write down anything, Mr. Norton, before we get to the end of the list. When I say go is when you start, and keep your eyes on your own page. Any questions before we begin? Mr. Norton.
Just hold my pen up so you can see.
Okay, good. All right, the words are, and you'll notice that they're all themed. These are all themed around the house. The words are door, glass, pane, shade, ledge, sill, house, open, curtain, frame, view, breeze, sash, screen, shutter. You got 1 minute. All right, time's up. How many guys think you did pretty good? Hands in the air. 2 people. How many guys wish you had a second chance? Hands in the air. All right, I'm going to grant your wish. But first, we have to check in with our sponsors. Did you know that you could be up and running with a published website through squarespace.com in under 30 seconds? It's true. I timed it. All you need to do is provide your name, your login, and your email address, and you are online because they don't even ask for a credit card number. That's just one of the amazing things about Squarespace. You already know that it's blindingly easy to make amazingly good-looking websites with no HTML experience whatsoever. Head on over to squarespace.com and start your 2-week free trial without giving a credit card number. And when you sign up, make absolutely certain to use that promo code SCAMSchool. All one word.
R-O-G-U-E. Use promo code ROGUE.
Keeping Scam School in business and yourself swimming in free drinks. Now you've got no excuse. You know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to show the words. You'll have 1 minute to write down as many of them as you can remember. The words are, these are all hospital themed. Nurse, sick, lawyer, medicine, health, hospital, dentist, physician, office, ill, patient, stethoscope, surgeon, clinic, cure. You got 1 minute. All right, time's up. Let's see how you guys did. How many guys think you did better the second time than the first one? A couple of you guys, because you knew what to expect, right? All right, let's see how you guys did. Everyone look at list number 1. Look at list number 1 and raise your hand if you got the word window. In list number 1, hands in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, looks like most of you guys. Keep your hands in the air, keep your hands in the air. Look at list number 2. Raise your hand if you got the word doctor on list number 2, hands in the air. So if you got one of those 2 words, put your hands up for everyone who got one of those 2 words. If you have your hand in the air, you have experienced a false memory because neither of those words were on either of those 2 lists. This is a trap that psychologists use to prove a point that memory is a really lousy videotape. Study after study shows that no matter how sure you are that a memory is accurate, there's actually no correlation to how true the actual memory is. How many guys have had that where you remember your mom or dad saying something happened one way and you remember it totally different, hands in the air, right? Or better yet, like you ever have that where you've got your favorite movie that you haven't watched in a while, you popped it in the DVD player and it got to your favorite line of the movie and the guy says the line wrong? You ever have that? That's what's amazing, is that it's not just that we don't remember what happened, it's that we actually remember stuff that didn't happen. Who got no false words? All right, let's talk about GameFly. You like games, I like games, and GameFly is the largest online video game rental service that offers you a
name
choice
I ain't
from
heard
over
in a minute.
6,000
They
new
send
and
you
classic titles
games
from all
via the
consoles and
mail,
handhelds. They
just
got
like
plans starting at
Netflix.
$15.99
All right,
a
we're gonna
month
skip
and never seen it
GameFly.
at a discounted
Rest in
price.
peace to a real one, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how much of a real one they were.
That's
Here we go.
gamefly.com/scamschool. It's completely free. It's as good as winning a free drink. Get on over there. Who did not get window and who did not get doctor? So of you three, how many did you get, Serafina?
I only got 5 on the first one and 8 on the second.
8, and who could beat 8? Stephanie, can you beat 8?
Yeah, I got more.
How many did you get?
On the first one.
On either of them. Everyone who got a false word is out, but I want to know if on either list, yeah.
Oh, I thought we were doing the first one with the house.
Yeah, we'll do the first one. Whichever one you got. How many? Go ahead and call out the ones you got.
Door, screen, sash, frame, door. Oh, I said door twice. Curtain, breeze, house, glass, and then I got a word that doesn't exist.
Oh, so you got a false word anyway. What word did you come up
I
with?
put blinds and I don't know.
Wow, that's cool. So that's another one down. So we're down to only. Did you put down blinds as well?
No, I put vine.
You put Vine. So literally, Serafina is the only one who had no false words. Let's hear it for Serafina. She's drinking on me. Good job. One of the things I love most about this stunt is that you actually manufacture a false memory, something that never occurred in people's mind. It's real-life mind control. By the way, if you want to try some of the other stunt list of words that we have, head on over to revision3.com/scamschool and check out the show notes. If you want to suggest your favorite bar scam, write me directly at brian@revision3.com. If you're doing the Twitter thing, you can follow the show at twitter.com/scamschool or follow me personally at twitter.com/schwood. And don't forget to join us next week when we'll be learning how to make homemade air fresheners using gasoline and lavender. But first, I'm going to grab a drink.
That was a good one. I had forgotten that we had done a variation on the list of words. Normally, I have a separate set of 2. Normally, it's sour, nice, candy, honey, sugar, sweets, bitter, soda, good, chocolate, heart, cake, tooth tart, pie. And then the code word or the secret word is sweet on there. And then the other one is mad, wrath, fear, anger, hate, fight, rage, hatred, temper, mean, fury, calm, ire, emotion, and rage. And then that one is anger or angry. But when I was doing this, I looked up the original research again, and I found out that per the original research, these were statistically the most likely to yield false positives. So I morphed it into that. And in this case, you'll notice that since I was revisiting a new version of this, I also made sure to prime and anchor. There's this moment where I'm like, oh, these are all themed around the house. So that was a bit of a lead because you would remember me saying these are themed around a house. And then later when you were trying to access, then, window would be more likely to come up. And to be clear, what happens is when you do the memory test at first, you're going to jot down one and you're going to know it. You're not sure about it. However, minutes later, when you revisit it, every time you look at that list, and in fact, that's one of the keys if you're going to, if you're a bad actor and you're going to, let's say you need a eyewitness to really go over the story again and fill in the gaps. Every time you take a lap through a memory, it deepens the groove. And we can watch this in real time where we talk about AI psychosis messing with humans. It's a two-way street. You can get that robot into a hallucinatory loop by just taking laps around the same thing. And so that's a little bit of how hypnosis works. But of course, the way memory works is you got to think in terms of fresh powder across your mind, and then a neural pathway is like skiing, cross-country skiing. You're not going to make a very deep impression the first time, but every time you go around, eventually that groove gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and suddenly there are walls on each side, and it is a trench that it's very difficult to get out of. So by revealing, what I love about this experiment was before doing it, I remember reading the article and seeing the list and doing the exercise, and then it said almost everybody will get a false memory. And I remember thinking so clearly, well, I didn't. And then I got both of the words. I got both sweet and angry on there. And it broke my head because prior to this moment, I thought, okay, maybe I don't remember everything that happened, but the stuff I do remember did happen, right? And that was the astonishing twist is no. Your subjective understanding, your subjective, this is really great. Look at this. Roger Locks, welcome. Roger Locks says, been sub for like 5 years and never really looked into what we were doing before. Congratulations. Today's the big day. I'm so glad that you're here. This is fantastic. And also Roger Locks, whenever somebody comes in and reacts to the old school Guile haircut, then usually I engage in the algorithm called tit for tat, where it's like if it's a low effort jab, I just do a low effort reflection. In this case, I said, LOL, are you new here? And you responded beautifully. You responded with curiosity and interest. I'm thrilled. Thank you. But back to false memories. This is a extremely important thing when it comes to eyewitness testimony. And it's doubly important now because now when there are trials and such, over in my lifetime, when I was a kid, eyewitness testimony was the gold standard of evidence when it comes to convictions. Then a little thing called DNA came along. I guess it was always there. The ability to do DNA forensic testing came along. And then that changed the rules along with photos and videos and stuff. Now, DNA will remain solid evidence. However, photos and videos just changed an awful lot. And for a while, I think we're going to head back to what are people willing to stake their reputations on. And in the political arena, you have people arguing about the nature of truth, which makes sense. I ain't going to touch that one. That's not my beat. But I do know that the leading researcher on this is Elizabeth Loftus, who she was able to plant false memories in the mind of a child by having them list. There was a kid named Chris, and they had him write a bunch of memories down. Actually, no. If I remember correctly, they had like 5 stories about Chris. 4 of them were the ones that happened, and 1 did not. It was a made-up story about being lost at the mall. And then they had Chris tell each of the stories, and he did have no memory of being lost at the mall. Then over time, after reinforcement, the kid was asked to rank the memories by how sure he was that they happened. And the one that didn't happen at all was rated as higher than one of the ones that did. So that's how memory is astonishingly malleable. This is the reason why some people with so-called photographic memories, they're able to remember the week, the day, like everything in their entire lifetime. Often when you look beneath the surface, what you find out is it's not that they just experience life and they remember everything perfectly. They're usually big on journaling or looking back on their own life. And so, like, when it comes to the exact date that Princess Diana died or whatever, they know where they are, not because they just remember perfectly, but because they've journaled and they've rehearsed it so many times that everything gets locked in. This is part of the reason that when I do audiobooks, I listen to a good nonfiction audiobook 2 or 3 times, because later, when the thought that I have from that book comes up, if I just say it, then it becomes Brian running his mouth off, and maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. But if Brian is able to cite chapter and verse and author and book, then if you got a problem with that sentiment, You're not fighting with Brian. You're fighting with, I don't know, let's say Annie M. Paul in her book, The Expanded Mind, which is really quite good. You guys should definitely read that one. Jonathan Hazlitt says, this reminds me of the famous video where you're supposed to watch how many times a basketball's passed in between people. Yeah, that's the Invisible Gorilla experiment with Dan Simon and another fellow. In fact, they just came out with a new book called Nobody's Fool, which is about how we get fooled. It's pretty good. Yes, 604157. I wonder about the ethics of giving a kid a lost in the mall trauma memory. Legitimate concern. One of the pushbacks that happened, I think that research originally happened 30 or 40 years ago. And here's the other bad news is when you're an expert and you're in the business of telling the truth, especially an unpopular truth like memory is malleable, I believe Elizabeth Loftus is the subject of some pushback because she gave testimony about her research in the Harvey Weinstein case. So, at any rate, whoops. The two shot is simply left up like this from before. You never know when the phone will ring. How about that? We got to build that phone robot that we can make something happen. Yes, the Book of Brian, chapter 2, verse 5. Don't tell your mom we're playing with matches. Yes, indeed. Okay, so if you guys are new here, as you know, these episodes were all as dropped in at launch when the channel launched in, December of 2009. We're coming up rapidly on that. We're coming up rapidly on real-time. I think it's 2010 is when we get into real-time scam school. So you guys are going to place your bet. You're going to head on over to biocow.com/YouTube guesses. Hold on, let me find that URL. Where is it? Where is it? BioCow. Wow, I don't see the link. Oh, there it is. Boom. There we go. Lock in your guesses. Head on over to biocow.com. Let's see, biocow.com/YouTube guesses. So here's the memory test episode, and the guesses are... Yeah, I think this is the only shot that I have that does the full screen. Flying Car 100 says it's 14,000. G. James B says 14,700. BioCow says 8,500. Ooh, that's on the lower end. Argyle Gargoyle says 26,000. 64157 takes the over. 35,900. Magic 51 says 29,000. Oh yeah, it's Adam says 8765. 24,000 from Curtis Hoffman, 6956. Cliff says 32,500. Banterad says 38,000. Zoe Brings Bacon says 24,527. Joey 666 at 40,000. And Charles Rubach at 7,000. And the real number, by the way, this is a great tool. I really like it. The real number is 28,000. 28,000, which is interesting. Those of you guys who took the lower, I totally understand why you would do that. Because it is an esoteric, it's a bit off-brand, right? It's not at the bar on the street. We're not learning a trick. But ICU says Zoe Brings Bacon, Pops and Locks. Zoe Brings Bacon, I believe, is our winner. Let's see. Oh, no, wait. Magic 51. Congratulations, Magic 51. Off by 1,000. Nicely done. Look at that. He guessed 29,000. Actual views, 28,000. Just 1,000 off. Well done, well done, well done. Congratulations, congratulations, Magic 51. You are the champion of the day. Oh, get out. Banterat apparently exactly had it and then went to 38,000. That's incredible. All right. I'm going to open up the whiteboard. There we go. Oh, look at this. Let's see. There we go. You guys can play on the whiteboard. Ooh. That'll do. And then I will respond to 79 old comments. This is one of the miracles of YouTube, is that it knows everything you ever watched ever since day one. And it knows everything you ever said about every comment. This will be important later. But in this case, it's going to be a lot of people self-congratulating. So I'm going to just say, awesome. Well done. Sorry I'm late grading this assignment. But how have you been? Okay, there we go. Copy this. I'm going to use that a lot. I had a feeling window wasn't there because Syl was said. However, you got me with doctor. Nice. I was expecting, what was the first question I asked you? They all say something on the list. Haha. I passed only because I knew he was trying to trick us. Awesome. Well done. Cool vid. Glad you liked it. 7 on both. No false words. Awesome. I got 8 on the first and 7 on the second. I wrote down window and doctor too. Crazy, right? There we go. Boom, boom, boom. This is how the Mandela effect works. 100%. I wish everyone on the planet took this test. No false words on 9 on both. But I'm an actor and I memorize stuff very easily. Okay, there we go. You're great. I know a trick to remembering stuff, so I got everything. Haha, including pen and paper. Freaking made me get up. There we go. You're great. At the end, I felt left out. I didn't write either. Haha. Well done. I missed the revision 3 days. Then you 100% absolutely positively must join us every morning for office hours. We're walking through the entire Rev 3 back catalog one day at a time. I got 6 words on the first, second, 7 on the second. No doctor, no window. You're great. These people are just wild. We go hard just to get a drink. Haha. 8 on the first, 8 on the second. No false words. You're great. Mandela effect. Yes. 9 on the first, 7 on the second. No false words. You're great. Mauricio, detention. Damn it. I should have taken the second list more seriously. I thought it was going to be easy like the first one. Anyway, I was able to get 13 and 8 on the second. You're great. Haha, Patrick Norton. Where's my free drinks? 11-10, no false positives. You're great. I'm one of the participants. Nice. I got 4 on the first list, 5 on the second list. Wow, my memory stinks. I got 15 on the first, 32 on the second with negative false words. I got both of those words. Crazy, right? I didn't write any of those 2 false words. I was thinking of window on the first try, but for some reason I didn't write it down. Yeah. I got 5 on the list, 8 on the second list. No false words. You're great. I didn't put window, but I did put doctor. You're great. I didn't write any false memory words. I got 10 out of 10 with the debatable false words. You're great. You never said, oh, pedantism. That goes over well when you're winning free drinks. Nice. I didn't write anything, but I heard doctor. Crazy, right? I got window, but don't feel bad because I'm 12. Try it again now that you're 25. It's more important now. I wonder what Mr. Peasley is up to these days. Oh, he's doing a rap battle. Well, there's that. That would be so surreal, as if I just out of nowhere took one annoying comment and then I just made a daily show of critiquing, going through their back catalog. Damn, I fall for the window. Crazy, right? I got 6 words on both, but I didn't have any false words. Is that good? It's great. Awesome, in fact. Well done. All the words except frame on the first. Ooh. Ba-bow. Okay. And then the rest are... This is the right way to memorize. Okay. What? How could this have been done? That's funny. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, good job, team. Everybody's great. Congratulations. Yeah, that's, took me a second to piece together what you guys had done right here. Okay, let me get to your comments here. YouTube has the receipts. Google knows my shame. That's something that I'm really fascinated in, is what's going to happen when we're able to look back at meta-analysis of stuff like general sentiment. Like, we already had that for Twitter clouds, where it's like people would kind of talk about, you could see when somebody, or I guess society-wide, I remember during the pandemic, there was some searches of like words that suddenly people were using, or negative sentiment words, positive sentiment words. That amount of machine learning in-depth analysis is extraordinary. And that's going to pave the way for fascinating diagnoses of all kinds of problems. I don't even know where to begin on all that. It's crazy. What am I wearing in this? Oh, that's right. I know what I'm wearing on this. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's right. That's when I took her. That's when I took that one girl's necklace and then sexied myself up. All right. So let's take a quick peek in. I got to admit, I was a bit surprised by this video not blowing up on Shorts. Here, I'll show you what I mean. It's a good short. It's a good trick. Oh, come on, my guy. What are you like? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Brian gets fooled by Joe Diamond's card trick. We'll see how it plays. I think maybe it just plays as a bit too confusing. I mean, engagement is not great, but not the worst thing ever. But meanwhile, watch time is really great. I think it's just a bit of a thinker that maybe isn't, and it doesn't give an answer. It's an open loop is maybe the problem. But meanwhile, we've got how to win ring toss at the carnival is still crushing. That's a very good intro for the channel. Story behind that viral knife fail. I like that one because that is a reminder to new people that, hey, Brian's one of the old gods. How to pickpocket someone is a good one. Self-contained. I hope that one keeps on rolling, but these are kind of low numbers. Yeah, I guess it's time to post another short. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look over at Monarogue. I've got, get this, I've got 2 episodes in the hopper about ready to launch, but we're waiting. We're waiting because we're clearing the floor for the kaiju. By the way, Charles Rubach, standing belly clap. Hold on. Where is that? There we go. Charles Rubach, you did it, my friend. You crushed it. You did, oh yeah. Yeah, I got to figure out an easy way to just press a button and turn on spells. I don't have to figure it out. I just have to do it. Do it. Maybe I could tie it to this whiteboard thing so when I do it, it throws spells on there. But Charles Rubach, your name, Kaiju Symphony, chef's kiss. Now, eventually, that became the punchier, this is how you make a kaiju scream. But as we talked about, I strongly suspect that free SFX is doing the heavy lifting on the click-through rate on this because it looks like sex. Although we are drifting down on the open rate, so we'll see how much longer this goes. If I was going to guess, this guy's going to coast comfortably into 6 digits, which is great. All I'm asking for is 10 6-digit winners in a row. And you can breathe a little easier. That'd be nice. But impressions are still impressing, which is good. So what it's got, the only question is whether or not this falls off. Now, meanwhile, we have a bit, this walk and talk is really good content. Or I guess, I think it's good content. Yeah, look at that. Look at that solid retention rate, right? This one has a title and thumbnail problem. 57% still there at 30 seconds. It says below typical. Huh. How do I compare it to? I'll get to a robot. We'll get there. Guys, heads up from the world of AI. Robots are getting good at holding onto the thread and seeing tasks through to completion. And if you're not messing around with Codex, start messing around with Codex. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm glad you liked the walk and talk video, Charles. I look forward to doing that. I wonder if the memory test could be retooled to work for shorts, like 6 words, a few words, wait. You know, the original study, Charles, had, I believe, 3 minutes everybody had to write, and then they just had to sit with it long enough that they got those false memories. So in order to get the trick to work, it's really tough. Well, I don't know. Yeah, but the other thing is that's a long time to wait to have somebody do anything on a short. It's pretty tough. Anyway. So game plan on this one. Oh, you know what? We can... Here, let me do this. Let's pick another short. Oh. Oh, doggone it. I don't know the password to my thing, so I can't do it. Whoops. Who X'd out Charles Rubach? Man, y'all are getting clever. Y'all are getting good. Okay, well, I don't have anything else on the... you know what? We can peek in on... No. Here, I'll just tell you guys. So a project that we're working on right now is we got to make a World's Greatest Con website, because the problem is robots are not hip to this Acast forwarding stuff. And so if you search World's Greatest Con, you're going to find something else. It's going to be confusing. But if you haven't listened to it, have you guys listened to the Princess Caribou Part 1 episode? It's really good. It's really, really good. But we may do a listen to it today when Justin comes over. How many guys were there for the last one, the World's Greatest Con Rainmaker? If you guys enjoyed that experience, we're going to do it again. You guys haven't listened yet? Ah, okay. Well, then you guys are going to dig it. Awesome. Yep. All right. Well, then I'll tell you what. I'm going to wrap it up. I got enough other bees knees to do. And, okay, great. Oh, yeah, it's Adam. We're going to do the same thing. All right, gang. I'm going to let you guys go. I will see you laters. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Oh, you know what? Here, let's tempt the content ID gods, because I rather like this as ending music. This is a track that may get content ID'd. It's from the end of East, Book 1 and 2 on the TurboGrafx 16. This episode of Office Hours was brought to you by Brian Brushwood. Scam School, created by Brian Brushwood. Live switching and editing performed by Brian Brushwood. Written, edited, produced by Brian Brushwood. Presented by Brian Brushwood. Special appearances from Charles Rubach, Dylan Theus, BioCow, Hawk Worley, Wago 333, Charles Rubach again. Oh yeah, it's Adam. Shadarjan, I'll get it right. Zoe Brings Bacon, and BioCow. Bye, guys.